com.
Jeff and Jeremy. It's like a radiogasm.
I said, hey, babe, check it out on the podcast.
Apple Podcast, Google Podcast,
and Spotify.
All this is going viral.
I was just looking at see where people were at on the back end of the Red Zone Challenge. There's got to be about, I'd say about 10 people that are perfect to this point. So tonight, Saints Raiders. It's going to come down to a tiebreaker situation. Who do you have in tonight's game?
I have the Saints tonight.
The Saints?
Yeah, I got the Saints. I don't know. Las Vegas looks pretty good.
Why do you have the Saints?
I just think they're a better football team.
Okay.
Even with Michael Thomas being out, I still think they're a better football team. But, we'll have to wait and see if the Death Star can pull off the victory. Is that official now, the Death Star? Is that what they're calling the stadium? I know that's what Gruden wanted to call it. I think it's amazing. I've seen it in person.
It's beautiful.
It looks like the Death Star. Have you seen it in person?
Yes, I have.
Now, I didn't see it finished.
In Vegas.
I saw it last September, so almost a year ago.
I saw
it was a year ago.
They were shining it. I was driving by. It was like, in the height of coronavirus, we decided to take a road trip because that's all you can do. It's cool looking. It's really cool.
I'd like to go.
The sponsorship.
What's the sponsorship?
The Legionnaire.
Oh, God. Really? That's not what I want to be associated with. I mean, I guess I'm surprised they have that kind of money.
I like to be associated with whoever throws down the cash. So, I mean, whatever,
I'm not trying to say anything bad. I fly Allegiant when I go to Vegas. I flew Allegiant last year when we went.
It's easy. It's super easy to fly Allegiant.
It's Santa Maria. No parking fees. Park, get out, get on the plane, go, you're there.
They do so many flights to Vegas from so many markets that don't really do that many flights.
They're blue and orange, and I just surprised. I'm surprised that that's good for Allegiant and good for the Death Star and the Las Vegas Raiders. It feels weird to say the Las Vegas Raiders, doesn't it?
It does. I saw a guy wearing a hat yesterday that said Las Vegas Raiders,
but it feels right.
It was strange.
It's weird to say it, but it feels right.
No,
I always felt like if there's a team that belongs in Vegas, it should be the Raiders. I'm excited to see the game tonight. Are they allowing fans? It's so funny. I don't understand. Some states are allowing fans. So. Seattle last night, obviously, watched that game. No fans.
So I have a question for the game last night. Was the piped in crowd noise, is that only for TV, or
that's what my question was too? And Al made a comment that they could, at the end of the game, they could only take it up to 70 decibels. And Collinsworth said, and it'll get over 120 in here when they're here.
I heard him say that. Yeah.
So yes, they are piping the sound in. So the players have to. They have the sound as well. And then you look up and there's nothing.
It's so odd.
I mean, watching a game on TV is so obviously better now because you don't really feel it as much because the sound is there, but then they'll kick a field goal or they'll pan up and then you're like, no one's there and it's just weird.
Did you see them do the little vignette on the doctor that got to raise the 12th man flag? So before Seahawks games, what they do is somebody that is integral in the
Seahawks or the community
will go and they get to raise the flag for the game. And yesterday it was a doctor that worked at Virginia Mason, which is one of the big hospitals up there. And because of coronavirus and all that stuff, it was the first home game. I'm sure that's the reason why they went that angle. And his family got to go to the game.
I heard this, and I heard they were the only people there.
There was 4 people there. What would you do if you had an entire stadium to yourself? Where would you watch the game from? Oh, you want to go see what it looks like from the 50-yard line?
I would choose the 50-yard line.
You want to go to the top of the stadium? I mean, you got all game to just wander around the stadium, and not have to worry about anybody.
Well, I don't know. It depends. I mean, do they have hot dogs and beer? I mean,
they don't have any of that.
Do you get to bring your own stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, I need to drink a few beers and have a hot dog or something.
A couple granola bars in your cargo shorts? I don't know.
If they said, listen, we'll give you the owner's suite and you will cater it and the whole thing, I'm like, okay, I'll take that. Really? Over the 50-yard line? Yes, I will take that. Doesn't matter because I like to watch football on TVs anyways.
It looked like the picture that they snapped of them that they were sitting in a suite while watching the game. But it was just very funny that you could do anything you wanted. That was awesome.
Let's see
Talk
here.
about a game day experience.
Yeah, no, that's pretty awesome. And you know what? As a fan watching football for 2 weeks now, I can't say anything's really changed. The only games I really get invested in are obviously my team, my Seahawks. And I'm watching that game. It felt just as real as any other game did last night. And Pete Carroll made sure that everybody felt that stress at the end of the game when he decided to throw the ball instead of going for it on 3rd and 1.
Let's have fun with this.
But,
It's Pete Carroll's motto.
Oh, yeah, let's have fun with this. How about we not have fun with it, Coach? How about we just run the clock down and we win the game?
Let's let him back in the game, see what they could do.
No Shame in the bathroom game wants to know what we thought about the Chargers rookie quarterback Herbert. Well, I'll tell you one thing I didn't like. Tyrod Taylor targeted Mike Williams on my fantasy team about 10 times more last week, so I didn't care for the fact that he didn't target Mike Williams as much. I didn't watch the game, though.
They need to have a quarterback change. And
are you saying from Herbert, or are you saying from Tyrod Taylor?
Anthony Lynn
or both?
Said after the game that when Tyrod gets better, he's going to come back and he's going to have his job back. I don't think that he should have been so quick to commit that, because Tyrod Taylor looked like garbage in the first week of the season, and Justin Herbert came out and looked awesome yesterday. I mean, just impressive.
Got the win?
Very poised. He has actual rushing acumen as well.
No, they lost. They almost got the win.
They lost, but they almost beat the
They were ahead, right?
Super
Kansas
Bowl
City had to come back in that one.
And there's some controversy there because Tyreek Hill ripped his helmet off at the end of the game, or when he scored the touchdown, and they ended up going for 2 to tie it on the subsequent next play. But when you rip your helmet off, it's supposed to be a 15-yard penalty. So they would have had to gone from the 17 for that 2, but the refs did not call the unsportsmanlike conduct for ripping your helmet off after scoring a touchdown. So there's some controversy there. Everybody wants Patrick Mahomes to win.
I guess the game really that people should have watched for entertainment value yesterday was the Dallas Cowboys. Atlanta. And you know, I've got the screen on. I'm watching the NFL Good Morning Football show, and they just showed that onside kick.
Yes.
It doesn't get any better than that. It looked like a putt in golf. Like the way it broke to the right, because it's like 5 yards. Okay, it's got to go 10, and then here it goes, and it's almost to the sideline, and it just curves over.
It was ridiculous.
Just gets. It's like, I was thinking.
What I don't understand. This is what I understand with the Atlanta Falcons, okay, is at any point in time when that ball was slowly dribbling over inside that 10-yard buffer, all anybody had to do from the Falcons is run over there and fall on the ball. That's all they had to do. Just run over there, fall on the ball. There's 4 of them standing there looking at the ball like, what the hell?
They don't have to wait for it to go 10 yards.
They don't have to wait for it to go 10 yards.
Dallas had, because they were kicking the onside. They have to wait. Just go up and get the ball.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, it rolled forever.
Yes.
Forever. Well, you know, it's one of those situations I don't think teams practice for enough. But obviously, the Atlanta kicker, he must practice that kick all the time.
You mean the Cowboys?
I'm sorry, the Dallas Cowboys kicker. I don't know his name is.
Greg the Leg.
He must practice this out all the time. And I was thinking, is it more important to practice that, or is it more important to practice field goals? Because at the end of the day, I mean, obviously field goals are important, but
he's a good field goal kicker too. So I mean, fine.
Johnny Mutcakes wants to know what the deal is about the Death Star. The Death Star was in Star Wars, and that's where I'm not a big Star Wars guy, but that's where Darth Vader lived, right? He lived in the Death Star, and it was black. It was that black moon thing, right? With I think.
Sure.
And so that's kind of like what the new Raiders Stadium looks like. So John Gruden made a joke saying he thinks it should be called the Death Star, but I think he really believes it should be called the Death Star. I agree, Little Willie Style. It is great to have football back. It's just fun to talk about something that people can get excited about. And I realize not everybody, because of the politics, some people choose that they're not into it, and that's fine. You don't have to be. But
this is what I don't understand.
It feels good to have it back for the rest of us.
Is yesterday so many injuries, and it sucks to be a Niners fan. I mean, you got the win yesterday, but you should have got the win over the Jets. And the good news is you get to stay in New York and beat up on the Giants, so that should be no problem as well. But the amount of injuries that the Niners incurred yesterday, it's a foggy outlook on the rest of the season for the vaunted defense of the San Francisco 49ers. And
as a Seahawks fan, it's tough because, you know, I really wanted them to be at their best when we beat them twice. But it's probably, you know,
there's a lot of,
they'll have a lot of excuses now.
There was a lot of injuries yesterday. Just a lot of injuries. And I think,
Probably because there wasn't preseason football.
yeah, I've never been a proponent of preseason football, but it took, you don't know what you got till it's gone, essentially, is what it is you realize there's a reason for preseason football. It's for these guys to slowly ramp up and wade into the shallow end of the pool instead of jumping off the 20-foot diving board and hoping that everything's going to be okay. A lot of injuries.
Jessica Rawls won week number 1. I see that there is a Steve Miller song. This will be her last day of Steve Miller. She will get that today before we crown a new winner, a MVP of the Red Zone Challenge tomorrow. And that person will win $25 to Pappy McGregor's, as well as get to pick their artist, their classic rock artist, to be played 4 times a day, 8:20, 12:20, 5:20, and 7:20.
Very close to Y&T this week.
Yeah, you were. You only missed one.
I should have.
And you went out on a limb.
I should have.
Thursday night football. I mean, it's probably the worst game to try to go and throw it all out there.
I should have went with the Browns. I mean, from the score standpoint, 35-30, I mean, it's almost there.
Yeah, but Cincinnati had to come back in that one. KZOZ.com for the Red Zone Challenge.
This is going to be fair and balanced. Okay, we're talking about this morning. We're talking about who's meaner. This is a poll question. KZOZ.com. Who's meaner to people that don't agree with them? Republicans or Democrats? Is that the fair and balance? I saw last night
right there.
I saw last night that
I saw that too.
Your boy's coming back. He's going to be on CNBC. Just get him in the facts.
We'll see how that goes.
What do you mean? See how that goes? I thought he was done. I thought he retired.
No, he left Fox News.
And then he had like a non-compete, so he couldn't resurface on CNBC for a long time.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what it was. So, well, we'll see how that goes.
He's good. He's good.
He's very good at what he does.
Yeah. Except for the whole J-Lo flub, but that's fine.
Oh, he stumbles like that all the time. But I mean, the best do, right? The best stumble with their words from time to time.
Who's meaner to people who don't agree with them? Right now, 75% of voters are saying that Democrats are meaner. There's a story out of Massachusetts that says that a guy started putting up Trump signs in his lawn in late May, and then they kept getting stolen. So what he did is he went to a farm supply store and bought a solar-powered electrical...
You went to Farm Supply?
A farm supply store. He bought a solar-powered electrical fence.
Oh, okay. To put around his signs?
Yeah, it's about 3.5 feet high. And it has warning signs in English, Spanish, and French, and he let the police know of the thefts and that the fact that he's putting up an electric fence. They said,
it's property, right? I mean, you can do that.
That's totally fine. You can do that if you want. So he's got a electrical fence around his Trump sign because it has been stolen 6 times. 6 times. It's pretty crazy. But at least he's not getting poop in his
mailbox. Well, that's next.
Here's the fair and balanced part of it. Okay.
All right.
A guy in Florida is being charged with child abuse because he hit a 13-year-old girl with his Trump flag. This happened. Girl was the back passenger of a car. She rolled down her window to say something to him, and then he hit her with the Trump flagpole.
Geez.
At a Trump rally. Divide and conquer, right? That's what I'm talking.
Well, there's good and bad in everything. We're divided. Everybody you see. And, you can't really expect.
Mm-hmm. I just wanted to make sure I put both stories out there.
Yeah, that's fine. Hi, you're on the air. Okay, they're gone. Your thoughts are always welcome, 805-543-3693. So, yeah, this is the most, every 4 years, right? I mean, this is, and the funny thing is, once the election is over, and then I felt like you had a couple of years. Now I feel like as soon as the election is over, it starts right up again.
It didn't feel like that
in
the 80s and the 90s.
Hi, go ahead.
Yeah, I think Republicans are probably meaner out of the two.
Why do you say that?
You know what I think? I think liberals don't know how to turn their radio down. Turn that radio down.
I did.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the guy with the Trump flag should have had them stolen.
I burned.
And burned.
You should have had it burned.
I truly believe that Republicans actually have a meaner disposition than Democrats.
So the question is,
I don't agree with the 75%.
Well, it's not just. It's just when you disagree with them, who is meaner, Republicans or Democrats?
I would say Republicans.
Okay, what?
You got to give us an instance. Give us something.
Yeah, has this happened to you?
Oh, give some context. Just Trump alone, how he deals with everything. He just.
What does he do?
What does he do?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Where shall we begin?
Just one. Just give us one.
Women. He is, any woman that ever voted for Trump has no self-respect for her own self.
What does that have to do with Trump and how he treats women?
And I just, he's terrible.
No, because all I hear is people say that Trump is a terrible person and all this stuff. But I don't know one instance of that. All I know is that's all drummed up by politicians and spread by the media.
Oh, come on! I mean,
give me one instance, Jeff.
He's a mean guy. He says mean things.
Is a mean guy. Yeah,
he does.
He really does. He does. He's a bully. He's a bully with whatever.
I mean, the whole making fun of the reporter that had the
exactly.
He's not a nice guy. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like he's a nice guy.
No,
I'm just trying to. I guess I missed the.
Disagrees with him or contemplates.
Okay. Once again, a lot of allegations, no evidence.
The mentally disabled reporter is what we're talking about. He was making fun of him
4 years ago when he was running for
4
office.
years ago. I'm saying that.
So you're going to take one instance from 4 years ago. You can't give me anything
there's
newer.
Other things that have taken place. It's like I had
what? Just tell me one.
I had a conversation with somebody this morning, and it was like it's true. It's true. I do believe Democrats are meaner because they have to be mean because they realize like Republicans, you can't out-mean Trump. So you just kind of be like, all right, let him do all the heavy lifting.
Now,
I know Democrats.
Okay.
Democrats are like,
I get all that.
They're crazy.
And Mike Rose just wrote in. Sorry, Mike writes in. He says, called Rosie O'Donnell a fat pig. Well, that was 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, I'm saying that he does all the heavy lifting on behalf of Republicans.
Exactly.
So now it comes across as if Democrats are meaner, and they might be meaner because they feel like they have to be meaner because this guy.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what's refreshing about him. I'll tell you what I think is refreshing about him. I've been waiting for a president for a long time to speak his mind. Most presidents won't do it. They won't say what's on their mind. And Obama was the worst at this, and it drove me nuts. Would apologize for us being
a puppet.
It's just, I'm not trying to sit here and be in his corner and support him. I know that he's done a lot of bad things, but all this stuff recently, I'm like, what is it?
Word either.
I know he said grab him by the P word, but that was 20 years ago.
No. This is the reason. With the grabbing of the, clutch.
No, that was something filmed like almost 20 years ago. That was with Billy Bush. You're talking about the thing with Billy Bush. That was almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So you're saying people change?
It takes out of context. It just shows what the type of character that person, what he is. And it shows just what about
the Twitter.
All right. Well, I'm glad we could have a good discussion about this. I'm glad we could have a discussion. I heard your side.
Yeah. All the Twitter stuff, Jeremy. You're going to sit there and deny all the Twitter stuff, and I mean,
he's defending himself.
It's too much to list.
I don't agree with the Twitter stuff. I don't. I'm not here to campaign for him. I'm not here to be, I'm not here to defend the guy. I just want to hear some evidence. That's all. I just want to hear some things specifically that people are talking about.
What about the argument that there's too much to list? Because a lot of people feel that way. I'm with you.
I don't know if there's too much to list because nobody can actually list anything.
Because
Mike just wrote in Rosie O'Donnell. That was 20 years ago. Now he says he's called soldiers losers.
John McCain. Remember? He's
because he was captured. If you get captured, mean. You're a loser. That's his point.
That's mean.
And that was 4 years ago.
But that is mean. That is very, very mean.
Liberals are rioting, looting, and burning things down.
I understand that. I know. They're both mean. I think the Democrats are taking it to the extreme. Like Republicans, They don't have to worry about being mean unless you're the guy that hit the girl with the Trump sign, the Trump flag pole in Florida.
There's good and bad in everyone, in every walk of life.
Yes, exactly. But I feel like Republicans don't need to really puff their chests out that much because the big guy does it for them. You know? So it is what it is.
And I think that I knew this poll question was just going to open up a can of worms.
Why?
But right now, 75% of people are saying Democrats are meaner.
Because you're a passionate Trump.
If you don't agree with them. Don't stoke this fire, Jeff. But my point is, I think that there's, depending on how the way you believe your beliefs in life, how you live your life, I think they just believe different things. I think a lot of conservatives feel like they don't have to be loud and they can be more controlled. They don't have to go out and say these things. And maybe it's because, they have a Republican in office right now. But on the other hand, I don't know, it's pretty crazy.
The Democrats feel a need to be more extreme. At least that's what the pollsters are saying right now at KZOZ.com, because they think that Democrats are meaner to the tune of 75%. 75% of Democrats, or 75% of the voters say that Democrats are meaner than Republicans when it comes to people who don't agree with them. I don't know.
More texts coming in, Preston and Creston. Did Republicans burn and loot when Obama won the presidency? No, they did not.
Wait, hold on a second. Did Democrats, though?
Yeah, they burned and looted. They just didn't show up. Protest. They call it protesting. But
No. But that's not when he won the office. They just didn't show up to his what do they call that thing they do in January?
Inauguration,
yeah.
No, but there were people that were rioting after he won the election. Yeah,
there was?
I totally remember that. Burning cars.
I don't remember that.
Now it's normal. I mean, you just do that.
That's the new normal?
That's the new
Burning
normal.
cars, not wearing masks?
Anyways, let us know. You can vote. Comments, please. 805 text line. We can have this conversation. Nobody has to hit anybody with a sign or put poop in a mailbox. We were just talking about this, I think, on Friday, and that was, kids going to school online, their Zoom classrooms. Jeff, your daughter, you said did it last spring. She gets to go back now in the fall.
She did have to start off this year. The first, I'd say 4 or 5 weeks.
Didn't you say one kid in her class, or was this another story where he took his shirt off or something? Was that in her class, or was that a different story?
Different story.
Oh, okay.
No.
So I think we were reading a story about a kid that took his shirt off, and the teacher didn't like that. Well, apparently it's not just the kids in the classroom that are acting out. The problem is a lot of the parents, teachers now, this is out of Florida, so take it for what it is, but teachers down in Florida are now commenting on the stuff they see going on in the background while they're trying to conduct a lesson.
Parents, please make sure that you have on proper clothing when you're walking in front or behind the child's computer, because we done seen them in their drawers, the bra, and everything else. Parents, when you're helping your children at the computer, please do not appear with big joints in your hands and cigarettes. The joint be big as a cigar. Oh yes, we done seen it all.
Big joints.
Well, it depends. I mean, it's legal now. Is it legal in Florida? I don't know.
No.
That's smart then. No. Here's another.
Maybe it's just a cigar.
Another teacher here. This is a little different situation.
I do have a parent that sat on the couch and we could see an ankle monitor on her leg.
Had a father, no shirt. Let me tell you, he looked 9 months pregnant, no shirt, drinking a beer at about 11:45 in the morning. Parents are smoking marijuana. I mean, I don't really care if people do that, but you shouldn't be in the screen doing that.
You should probably be around your kids doing that. Now, listen, marijuana was obviously not legal when I was a child. My parents did not smoke it. I know Jess did, even though it wasn't legal. But when you were a little kid, did he smoke it around you?
Like every day.
Oh, he did? Oh, okay. My parents drank around me, though. And your dad probably had a mindset that it was fine.
Yeah, he's like,
it's not like he was doing.
This is probably not for you.
He wasn't lining up, doing lines or smoking rocks.
No. Just,
if there's any kids listening right now,
smoke a lot of
ask
marijuana.
Your parents with that.
But he would try to conceal it. Like he would go into the bedroom and do it. And, but I mean, it wasn't like over the top hiding it. It wasn't like go out in the garage and do it and act like you're working on something or something along those lines. It was just like, yeah. Because you can't really hide the smell.
I think the COVID thing, everybody is just like, whatever. I mean, before COVID, even though it was legal, I still feel like people had some kind of boundaries. It's funny because where I live, my mom's over, and I opened the garage. She goes, "Do you smoke pot in there?" I'm like, "Mom, I don't smoke pot. What are you talking about?"
Like every day.
I smell pot. And I walk over there. I'm like, okay, now my mom's very naive. So I'm like, okay, well, this is not the smell of burnt pot. This is the smell of a plant. And so now I've got a neighbor, and on the other side of the fence, I looked over the fence the other day. He's got like 4 or 5 big plants.
What was your address again?
Well, anybody can grow within a reason, right?
Yeah, but why grow it on your own if your neighbor's going to do it for you?
But that really isn't a problem. It's legal. You can do that, right?
Yes. Yes, you can do that.
Ankle monitor. I mean, I don't know. You can't really control an ankle monitor if, but sitting on the couch drinking beer, smoking doobies.
What was the person
while
with the
your kid is trying to focus on his school?
Yeah, but I mean, kids come from all walks of life, and if mom's got an ankle monitor, there's nothing nothing she could do to hide it.
Yeah, I'm saying that's one thing. I'm saying it's another thing to sit there and drink beer in the background and smoke pot while your kid is trying to, focus
I'm not laying into you. I'm laying into the holier than thou teacher. Maybe the ankle monitor thing shouldn't have been brought up. The big joints and the beer, with a dude that's fucking 9 months pregnant.
Yeah, with his shirt off. I mean, that's.
Well, how do you think he got there, lady?
I would love.
You have to drink beer at 11:45 in the morning in order to maintain that look.
Tosh.0, I just looked up. He's still doing his show. It's in his final season. He's got to get these videos. I mean, I got to start finding Tosh. I think it's on Comedy Central.
I think on Pluto TV there was like a whole channel dedicated to just episodes of Tosh.0 over and over and over and over. He's very funny.
I'm just trying to think, out of all the problems that we're dealing with in 2020 right now and everything that we've dealt with so far, is it a big deal that a parent is sitting on a couch with his shirt off drinking a beer behind the kid that's trying to go to class?
Here's where it's a big deal, okay, is the other kids see it as well, and they might make fun
of it. And how about the fact that you're a parent and you should know better, right?
Yeah.
You should know better.
Stay out of that shot.
Lead by example.
Frame your shot. Come on.
Frame your shot, or just go in the bedroom and take your clothes off and drink beer.
Yeah.
And look pregnant on the bed.
Out, ma'am. On 93.3 KZ.